What's up, guys? Welcome to Murky Waters. It's Saturday today, and you know what that means. It's time for me to make my picks for this week's games in the NFL. We'll start with the Buffalo Bills will be visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a match of two heavyweights in the NFL. Buffalo's coming off that anemic performance against the New England Patriots last Thursday on the primetime game, and Tampa Bay's coming off the win against Atlanta. The Bucs are 5-0 at home this year. It's the number one offense, Tampa Bay, versus the number two defense, yard-wise, in the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills have given up big rushing yards in their last few games. I think Leonard Fournette is going to run all over them. I think Tom Brady is going to have his way. I think the Buffalo really is deflated. And I think they really had their manhood challenged last week against the New England Patriots. And they're traveling down to Tampa Bay, and Tom Brady's rolling. I think Tampa Bay is going to win this game handily. I think Tampa Bay wins this game 28-20, and Tom Brady keeps improving and adding to his MVP case. Next, we've got the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Cleveland Browns for their second game in the last 2 weeks. The bye, of course, last week for Cleveland. Baltimore won the last one in what was an emotional, close game, and I think they're going to win again, and I think it will be just as close. I think Baltimore wins 17-16, and Baltimore has the number one rush defense. They have the number one third down defense. Baker Mayfield has been struggling, hasn't been playing great, so they're going to have to put the ball into the hands of both Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. But Baltimore has been very effective stopping the run this year, so look for that to be the difference in this game. Baltimore can all but clinch the division with a win too, because Pittsburgh's too far behind, and Cleveland's really the only... Well, I guess there's Cincinnati, but I do think that Baltimore's schedule is a little more favorable for the end of the year, and they do play Cincinnati head-to-head, and I do believe that they will win. So I think that Baltimore can really clinch the division with this win, so I think they're going to come out firing. But again, I do think it will be a low-scoring, run-heavy game, and I think Baltimore edges it out by a point and covers the spread. Third, we have the New Orleans Saints visiting the New York Jets. The Saints are coming off of a pretty bad loss to the Cowboys. I mean, Taysom Hill had 4 interceptions, and it just didn't really look good in his first start of the season. The Jets don't have a good rush defense. Actually, they have the number 29th ranked rush defense in the league. So I do think that if Taysom Hill starts, he'll be a lot more effective in this game because he'll be able to run the ball. I know he had 100 yards last game, but a lot of that was in garbage time, and he already had the interception, so it didn't really mean much. But I think the Saints are desperate for a win. They aren't really out of the playoff race yet. It's getting close, but they still have an outside shot to make it. So I think they're going to come out desperate. I think they got embarrassed, and I think teams that are well coached, and they are under Sean Payton, they usually don't lose back-to-back bad games, and the Saints have lost 4 in a row. So they got to force turnovers, and they got to run the ball with Hill and take advantage of what he's good at. I got the Saints winning 24-17 and covering. Third, we have the Detroit Lions visiting the Denver Broncos. Detroit, as everyone knows, got their first win of the season last week against the Minnesota Vikings on the very last play of the game. I think that was a very emotional game. I think they probably had a lot of fun this week. I think that was their Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos lost. They had not a great performance against Kansas City, and they put up less than 10 points, so they also are still in the playoff race, and really in the race for the division too, because that's not over. They're only a couple games behind Kansas City. Kansas City having the tiebreaker, but nonetheless, only a few games. I think Denver's going to force some turnovers. Detroit's a dome team. They're going to be playing at Mile High. It's going to be cold. They're going to force mistakes. Javonte Williams is going to have his way rushing against this team. He's just been super impressive this year. Definitely the bright spot on their team. Bridgewater will probably not make too many mistakes. They'll probably just trust most of the game to Javonte Williams. I got the Denver Broncos winning 30-10 in a blowout and to cover. I don't usually take big spreads, but I got 2 of them this week. And here's another one. I got the Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Kansas City Chiefs in a divisional matchup in Arrowhead. Kansas City defense has played great in their last few games, holding two opponents under 10 points. The Raiders will be without Darren Waller, who's their most productive and maybe even best player. This, in my opinion, is going to be the game where Kansas City's offense wakes up, because their defense really has been carrying them the last few weeks. So they really do need their offense to hold up their part of the bargain and have Patrick Mahomes and Hill and Kelsey to be looking like they did back when they won the Super Bowl and years prior. Kansas City has had success against this Raiders defense, including a blowout earlier this year, and I look for that to continue. Kansas City is also very good at home, so it's going to take a very valiant effort for the Raiders to knock off Kansas City at home, but I do not think it will be enough. I think Kansas City's red hot and they're rolling and they won't stop now. I got Kansas City winning 35-20. Now I will do my lock of the week, where I make one pick every week that is a lock, and I haven't gotten one wrong so far this year, so here we go. I've got the Seattle Seahawks beating the Houston Texans. Seattle doesn't really have a big chance to make the playoffs, but it's not impossible, and really they are just playing for pride now, and I think that Russ comes up big in this game. I think he throws for 3 touchdowns, and I think Metcalf finally ends his drought and gets a touchdown again with Russell Wilson. I got the Seahawks winning away 28-10. And now I will do my bold pick of the week, where I pick a game with an outside shot, but it's got good value, and I really do think it could happen. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars upsetting the Tennessee Titans straight up. I think Jacksonville is playing with house money at this point. It's really just an experiment year and rebuilding year and trying to get Trevor Lawrence those reps. Tennessee's kind of on cruise control. It looks like they probably will make the playoffs. They're going to win their division because they've got the 2 tiebreaker games against the Colts, who are really only the competition in that division. So they're going to be in the playoffs regardless. And Tennessee's going to be without their top offensive weapons and Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, and I think that Jacksonville, it's a divisional game, and you know how divisional games can be. When you see the same team twice a year, you kind of get how they play. And Tennessee's killer of Jacksonville that they usually have, Derrick Henry, will not be playing. So I got Jacksonville pulling off the upset and knocking off the Titans 21-20. Thanks for listening, guys. I will be back as usual on Tuesday to follow up all of the picks and to go over all of the action that happened in the NFL this week. So make sure you sit back and enjoy all of those games, and make sure to give me a shout if there's anything you want me to talk about. Tell me how I did on my picks. Tell me if I made you some money. So have a good weekend, guys.